Okay, so we've got our enemy moving across the screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create multiple enemies going across. So we're going to go into the loops here, and we're going to go down to the 4 index from 0 to 4. I'm going to drag that in. Now the for loops, or just loops in general, just loop over the code. So it's going to say 0 to 4, which means it's going to loop 5 times because we're starting from 0. So and it's going to do it whatever's in this code block here. So if we drag our create enemy code in here and we plug that in on start, what's going to happen is it's going to create 5 skulls or 5 enemies. However, you can't actually see it because all of these enemies are being created at the same position. They're all being created at x60 and they all have the same velocity. So what I can do here is do a pick random, and if I put this here and change it from 0 to 160, and now when we restart it, you can see that yes, they are being created. However, they are overlapping, which isn't exactly what we want. It's a bit undesirable. So we're going to add a little bit of maths in here, and we're going to go for a plus, and we're also going to go into maths and get a multiply. And we're going to put the plus into the x position of our set enemy, and we're going to say 160, which is our desired starting point for our enemy, plus the index. So what does that mean? So the index changes each time with the for loop. So on the first run through, the index is 0. The second iteration, it is 1. The third, it is 2. The fourth, it is 3. And the fifth, it is 4. And so on and so forth. So what's going to happen when we run this through? Again, it looks as though it's all in the same position, but what's actually happening is they're only being put 1 pixel apart. So I'm going to take that out, and we're going to say 160 plus our index times 16. Okay, so for the first run through of this for loop, the first one is going to be put at 160, add 0 times 16. So 0 times 16 is 0. So the first one is going to be at 160. Then it's going to add the velocity, and then it's going to come back, and it's going to be 160 plus the index, which is 1, times 16. So it's going to be 176. And then it's going to do it again, and so on and so forth. So when we replay our code, we have 5 in a row. Now, if we change this 16 to, let's say, 32, now we know our sprite's dimension is here, so it's going to be spaced 1 apart. So 1, then another, then another, then another, and you can keep on going with this, you know. Okay, so I hope that makes sense.